How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Trailmakers. In this episode of Let's Build, we are going to be building ourselves a dragon. That's right. A few of you commented that you'd like to see how I built the orange dragon in the video that I'll post up here. And yeah, so I figured, okay, I could show you guys how to make that. And there was a couple unique ways, things in that video or on that build that are different than how a normal flyer would be built, that I would build it. So let's get to work. So we're going to start with, of course, got to start with the seat, and we're going to start with an indestructible seat because we don't like being kicked out of our seat all the time. So, and it's got decent weight, so if we can handle that at the front, we can always swap that out for something lighter, and it's not going to affect the build as much as if we start with a light seat and then try adding something heavier at the end. So we're going to start with that as the head, and we are just going to grab some simple 2x4 blocks here, bring these out. As long as you want your neck. Now, the majority of the build here today is going to be based on this specific size. So if you decide to make your body longer, or you decide to make the tail longer, or put more stuff on the tail or on the neck or whatever, you'll have to account for balance by adding weight to the front or the back to make up for that extra pieces added onto it, the extra size. So the way we're going to do the wings is we're going to go, let's see, we'll go about here, we'll copy this out. I'm going to need 2 of these. Like this. Now we're going to take a couple of servos. We're going to put one at the front and one at the back on either side, like this. Copy those back, like this. And on those servos, we are going to put, we're going to put some pistons. Yoast like this. So we're going to put them at the front and back. And I keep these servos above our baseline body line, just so there's nothing dragging down below, seeing how we know we're going to be building a little bit more up here, so we can camouflage that, and we might put some landing gear in there as well, so we'll leave that space open for that. Alright, so all of these here, we want to again hold left control, double click, you can select all of those servos. That's good if you know where all the servos are and if they're all doing the same thing, but once your build gets a little more complicated, that can backfire on you very easily by double clicking and selecting all, and then you forget that you had those servos in the body doing something totally different, and now they're all set to the same. So keep that in mind when you're double clicking to select all. So we want to remove the controls on these because we want these to be free floating. Speed and angle doesn't matter once we remove the controls, and all of our pistons here, we are going to select these to be in the starting position down. We want them to auto reset, and we want the speed. Speed we can set to 1, we can always change that. We'll remove all of the controls for now because we want to set them up individually. And we're probably going to be using some XOR gates to set those up as well so that we can set different controls on them. So let's start with, let's put an XOR gate right back here in this gap, and we'll put one back here. One will be for these pistons on this side. This one will be for these pistons on this side. So, what we're going to do first, actually, we'll set this one for, let's do our up and down first, which is what these are basically for, rather than having a big heavy wing sitting on a servo where it's going to be dragging weight down. Setting them up this way, for one, we have 2 servos, and we can control the angle without all of that weight on one servo. So, we're going to select these, and instead of this back one here, we'll set this one to our 2 front ones. So, we're going to set those to raise. So we'll set those to W so that those go up, and we'll set this one here for our 2 back ones. Those are going to go up when we want to go down. So S. Build that in. A quick test. W. Got the backwards, so we'll just simply swap these out for W and S. There we go. So now when we push W, our wings will tilt forward. Here, I'll add a piece on here so you can see a little better what's happening. What's happening, man? What's happening? And our pistons might be a little slow, so we'll increase the speed on those. We'll make those like 3. Okay, build that in, jump in the seat. Now when we push W, whoa, 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 whoa. So if we're getting rigidity issues, maybe we just need to add a couple of free-floating hinges on here, so that when the front and the back angle up or down, we don't have any weird angle issues. So we're just going to reduce the strength on these down to nothing. Get rid of the controls. That should solve that problem. So W, S. See, now we have our wings tilting this way, rather than using one servo to rotate them, and this gives us way better control along with better strength. Alright, so once we got those kind of wing frames on there, now we can start adding our wings themselves out. So, of course, we're going to use our sails, our biggest sails, the tall modular sail. We're going to rotate this onto its side, rotate it out this way. We want to copy it out, flip it over this way, flip it over this way, and now we have a large forward angled wing like this. So that's what we're going to start with, out like that. We'll copy it out to this side. We want to make sure that our control points are all holding, so we need to put another deuce, it looks like, up front here. Hold those extra sail ends. So once we've got those like that, let's build that in and have a quick test. Back, forward. So I bet you we can even add a, and this will not be an ornithopter, this will be jet powered. Sails are actually really rigid in the air, so you'll want to make sure that you've got power enough to push yourself. So let's try this right here on his back. Try one thruster. Of course, that is automatically set to space. Pull that down. That's not even enough to move us. Not even enough to move us. So we're going to try that again, but it's going to go 2 instead. If at first you don't succeed, use more. So get those suckers going. That should get us pushing forward. You can lift up, but we don't have a tail. So as you can see, the wings are pretty stable in the air. They actually work better than, the sails work better than wings in the air. Stabilizing itself basically with just, that's just weight balance, but you can see how the wings like that make it a lot easier to control than if they were just on servos. Alright, back to the carrier. Okay, so let's add a bit of a tail. And in between here, we're going to add, of course, a couple of these hinges here, so we can get some tail action. We bit up and down. So green is going to be up, and that's down. We're going to make these nice and slow, 0.1 at an angle of 15, because if we have more than one, that angle will add up quick. We'll copy these up so they don't mirror, and we'll copy them back to, let's say we'll go at least another one of these. Then we'll put a couple of these like that, and a couple of more of these at the end, maybe. Could have quite a long tail, depending on how big his wings are and his body. So, if we wanted to, we could copy these two sails now and copy them out this way. That's now getting a little bit ahead of the body side here, right? The wings are leaning forward, so we'll just grab this whole thing and rotate it. Ta-da! Just like that. So now we've got a bend in the wings. Copy that. Do the same thing on this side. Just like that. And then if you'd like, you could even take this piece here, copy it out, drop it down here to finish the wing off like that. Do the same thing on this side. I think the batteries in my mouse are dying. Right, so something like that. So now we've got a very large set of wings that are all being controlled by this. So let's hit some gas and see how this flies. Now we got mega wings. Do we even need a tail? Of course we need a tail, right? Even if we didn't need a tail, we're going to put one on there anyways. So you can see how once you get this many sails sideways, they're just like the ultra stabilizers. Ooh, look at the flappity flappity. So we definitely need a tail and a wee bit more control. So now we've got this up like that. We're going to put a bit more tail end on it. And then we'll put a wee bit more body on it. So we'll take the tail out this way. And we've got a wee bit of up and down with the tail this way. So we're going to move. Oh, hey. Just love the way it selects things that you can't see. Like that. Because we want to put the hinge sideways. Right in here. Bingo. Green will be going that way. D is this way. And we'll make that nice and slow again. And 15 degrees. And then maybe we'll put another hinge like that right here. Again, copy it up so it doesn't mirror back to where you originally want it. Drop it down. It should have the same controls at 15 degrees. Okay, so as far as the tail goes, we can use sail. We can make the sail tail, but maybe we'll use our smaller modular sails. So we'll do the big triangle. We'll see how this works. See how it looks actually. I base more of these things on aesthetics than. Okay, so even if we go like that, copy that out that way. We can put a couple of these here on the back side for vertical stabilization. Okay, let's try that. We'll check for weight as well. We got our tail swinging this way, tail swinging that way, curvature on the up. We are flying. Oh, geez. Wow, okay. Might want to slow those piston speeds down a wee bit. We got quite a bit of lift. Or that could be the tail as well. So we have 0 rotation. Spin it right around. Wow, that's a pretty quick spin, eh? See, we got no yaw. So that's why we're in the drink. Alright, so for yaw, what we're going to do is we're going to move this section of the wing, these 3 sails, we're going to move those out by 2. Same thing on this side, move those out by 2. We're going to grab some skinny 1x4s here. Going to create a base here. We'll take one of these deuces, slap it on there. Copy this same thing on the other side. And then we're going to use some of our small hinges. Now we have 3 connection points here. We have 1 here at the tip of this sail and then 2 back here. And because we're using the small hinges, we want to use as many of those connection points as possible. We'll have our green facing up just because we know that they're not that strong. And especially if you're moving at any kind of speed, you're going to get some resistance from those little hinges wanting to flex. So we'll put those on there like that, facing up. And that is going to be part of our yaw. So here, when this wing comes up, we are going to be turning that way. Now, I'll remove the controls for the red because I don't want those moving upwards. And we'll say 0.3 at 30 degrees. We'll build that in. Oh, nope, cancel. That's right. We didn't put anything over here yet. We've got pieces that are not connected. Can I do that? Now, when this one goes up, we're going to be going D. That. Get rid of that control. Make that 0.3 speed. Angle should be good. Now let's build it in. Jump in the seat. When I hold A, that wing goes up like that. D will make that wing go up like that. And that should help with our yaw. Yaw, for sure, eh? So let's get up in the air here. This is only 2 thrusters. We will be adding a few more just so we get a little bit more speed. So we can test our turning like this with our wingtip. As we can see, that will rotate us around. We can angle that a wee bit more if we like. Or we can add another bend point further out on the wing. So this will bend us that way. I think it's moving a wee bit too slow for the bend. And we are going to change the speed on these. I'm going to set that to 1. Well, we want to turn. We want to turn, man. Right? Yeah. Say yeah. Yeah. Alright. 1. Okay, so we got this set there. We got those set at 30. Those should actually move a wee bit faster now. Look at that. Wavy. We'll hold A and D together to lift the wings, let them go. That'll actually lift us off of the off of the deck. Alright, turning this way, turn that way. We can still use our W and S at the same time. While rotating this way, I think we might actually make that 30-degree angle on there a little steeper. Make it a 45 maybe, or even a 60. Those are big wings, so it does take quite a bit of force to get them to rotate off axis. So, I'm going to select these and make these. We'll try at 45 first. Alright, once this is set to 45, we'll have a look. Yep, that definitely looks a lot better. Definitely gives us more yaw. Stronger yaw. Much stronger. Yeah? Yeah? And again, gliding is never an issue. Right, we want to slow down the speed on those pistons, right? Wow. Yeah, definitely. Let's take those back down to 1. See, landing is never a problem with these because you're coming down so soft. So we'll make these. Let's make these back down to 1. Alright, let's try that. Lift our wings. Drop them down. Pull back a wee bit. Yes, that's definitely a little more realistic, a little more manageable. Alright, so we got a wee bit of yaw. We got our up and down. We don't really need much as far as for roll. We can use our WASD, our pitch, and our yaw for that. Let's see if we want to make that look a wee bit more natural instead of just being bent at the angle like that. We can just add a couple of more hinges on this outside one here. We don't need to worry about reinforcing it because it's only got one sail that it needs to deal with out on the end here. We'll put those up as well. We only have 2 control points out here, so we'll use these. Bang bang. These ones again will be A. Alright, let's build that in and have a look-see when we hit A. Get a nice curve there. D will give us a curve there. If we hold A and D, we'll get this, which is also good for liftoff. So definitely have stronger roll now. So it still wants to drift a wee bit to the side, to the left or right. So we are going to add a couple of additional vertical stabilizers on the back of the neck. And we are going to move the head out a wee bit because we need to put some controls in here as well. So we'll go with a couple of small hinges here, and we might as well put our left and right rotation in there as well. Drop that in there, give that D into A. We don't want the head moving that quick. We'll say 0.1 at 15 again. Same thing with these here. That is going to be up, down, 0.1, 15 degrees. And we'll move the seat out a little bit more. We'll copy one more of these out. So we'll connect these, take these, copy them up, bring them back over here. Bang, bang, down here. And that, let's see, we'll build that in, have a look, see. This head rotates that way, head rotates that way. Okay, we want to bring these closer to the head. Take off from the ground like that. Starting to get some weight now that we've moved that head out a little bit further too. We've got more weight out front with those fins up there. Almost time to add more thrusters. Wow, yeah, see? It's got a shaky, shaky. Woohoo! That's not me doing that. So that's the shaky, shaky in the body. That's what I'm talking about, the small hinges. And there's a lot of force on them. Wow, look at that, eh? Might need to reinforce that a wee bit, hey? You think? So to reinforce, if you start bobbing like that, we are going to reinforce that. That's because we have these single hinges. Hate to say it, they just can't take any torque. So we're going to get rid of those, and we're going to drop, well, actually we don't even need to drop another block. We're just going to use the larger hinges and swap out those small ones. Okay, let's give that a quick try. See if he's still doing the wobble wobble. Build up some speed here. It's not a feedback loop in the wobble. We didn't do his neck yet either, so we'll swap out the ones in the neck, and then we'll see how that feels. It's still a wee bit wobbly. Wee bit. Whoa, buddy. Mr. Snake Dragon. Set our controls to normal, our speed, angle. Actually, I'm going to go with 20 degrees on the head. Okay, looks like it's time for more thrusters. Okay, so we're going to move these two ahead, and we're just going to copy two more of them right there. Right there. Alright, now we can take off, no problem. It's not liking all that weight out front of the hinges there on the neck. So I might have to add extra pieces there to reinforce that. As you can see, we can fly pretty good. We've got decent control. We've got decent roll, pitch. Ooh, yeah, that neck, yeah, she's bending. That's bending. Maybe we'll move those vertical stabilizers a wee bit further back on the neck. These ones here. See if that helps with our wobbliness. In the neck anyways. Didn't like the way his neck was bending down like that. So now we can, let's see, can we get up to 200 kilometers an hour without him freaking out? Yeah, it seems to be a lot more stable in the body. Right, so we can put a little bit of weight on him now, finish out the body, and maybe put some landing gear on there as well, give him some feet. Okay, so I think we'll move the head down a wee bit. These back here, we'll double that up, because we can. I know not everybody has all the pieces, but these are some of my favorite pieces of these ones here. The teeth, the sharp teeth. Well, maybe we'll use those as neck decorations. Decorations. Of course, we want to probably bring these out at least one. Make the body look a little thicker here. Right, so the majority of the body is filled out. We haven't done anything with the head or with the landing gear on yet. Let's do a quick test flight. Make sure everything is still functioning properly. We still have the control that we want. Control that we need. Okay, if we're upside down, we can rotate ourselves around. As you may have noticed in the time lapse there, I reinforced some of the hinges. Doubled them up where I can. Just to give them that extra strength so that if we decide to go with more thrusters and more speed, we can handle the torque. Now we just need some landing gears. So even landing without landing gear, you still don't break anything. My little dragon. So, landing gears is actually let's finish out some more of the deets, and then well, we can put the landing gear on now maybe. So normally I would put it somewhere in here where the majority of the weight is, so that the legs can fold down. So let's try that. Let's go with let's try this. Try with the servo right here. Down this way, and then off of that servo is going to be a piston like this, and then we're going to grab a wee bit of an elbow, here, a little pipe piece. That on there, and then we're going to need a small hinge. We're going to put under the foots, and we want the green to be going, yeah, we're going backwards like that. So this servo is going to have a negative speed, because normally this is going to be sensor based, right? So as soon as the sensor reads it, it's going to want to move it on the default axis, which is green. So if we set a negative number to this, then we can. So we'll set it to -1. At 45, note we actually want to rotate it 90, maybe a little less than 90. So we'll say 70. Say 70 degrees on the rotate there, and we'll get rid of the controls on here because we don't need them. The piston is also going to start in. Speed as 1 is fine. Auto reset is going to be needed. We'll remove the controls on there as well. Again, green being extending, so we can start it in, and it's going to naturally want to extend out. And this one here is, again, we're going to remove the controls. We're going to set the speed to 1. We'll leave it on there. Angle, we are going to set that to, if this one was set at 70, that's going to come down to 70. Then we're going to need at least another 30 degrees to get that level. So we'll leave it at 30 degrees. And then our foots, so we'll need something to use as a foot piece. We'll use that for now just to see how that comes down, and then we're going to put a sensor somewhere over here, probably right underneath the front of his neck here, so that it sees the ground before the feet get there. Like this, we're going to set that to say like 10. That sensor will be connected to this servo, this piston, and this hinge. So, and we want to fold it up like that so that when this activates, it is what actually activates the landing gear to come out. So that folded down, that was really quick. Our 30-degree hinge needs to definitely be a little bit more, a wee bit more. So we'll set that to say 70, and we will reduce the speed on that to, let's say, 0.2. Same thing with this thing, it's rotating mega fast, so we'll keep it at minus 0.2. We'll see how that spawns in. And he's on his foots. So now we'll copy that to the other side. We already have the servo over there, so we'll just copy this and this, this and this over here. And of course, because we copied it over, it's going to be mirrored, so we'll have to rotate that. And we'll have to set this no controls. At a 0.2, because this one is going to rotate on the green. That's going to be at 70 degrees. This is already at 7 at 2. Okay, that should be good. We want to make sure it's connected to our sensor. Look that. Build that in. And he should be on his feet. And he is. Look at that. And if you built it in the right place, he's actually balancing on just his feet. So now we hold down thrust and A and W. We should be able to try and take off. Lift off the ground a wee bit. Come on. Get up there. Come on. So this is the problem now. Oh. Okay, no, let's go back to the spawn point. That was ugly. That was right ugly. So we'll arch up. Lift the wings. Hit the thrust. Let go of the wings. Come on. So we got a wee bit too much weight in the front. That's okay because we haven't finished decorating the tail. So we'll do that now. And our thrust is up on his back, so the beauty about adding large blocks like this is that we can always remove some of those blocks so that we can add other goodies. Down low like this, we're going to throw another thruster underneath in the belly here. Throw that closer to the back, and then don't forget to fill that gap in there, because we all know how much Trailmakers loves gaps in your builds when it comes to aerodynamics. If you don't care about aerodynamics, not a problem. Go ahead, leave all the gaps you want. It's not a problem. So let's try that. Now we got a little bit more weight in the back. We got a little bit more thrust on the bottom. Maybe what we need. Well, no, we can't have skis for feet because then he'll never stop when he tries to land. Come on, get up in the air. Yep, see, then the landing gear folds up naturally. Again, we'll probably make those slope pieces so that they're not, so that they're more aerodynamic rather than just square pieces. They're basically there as placeholders. 5 thrusters, our 5 thruster dragon. You can see she wants to fly straight really well. The way that you point it is the way it's going to go. We can turn. We got decent control. We can rotate. Woohoo! Stunt dragon. And because of the strength of these wings, as far as what weight they can hold, easily place some cannons underneath your wings or on either side of the head. Not a problem. It's not a problem. You can do that. So as we come down to land, our sensors should see the ground. Our feet should pop out. So yeah, it looks like his head is a little bit too heavy. So what I would do there, and again, it was giving us some trouble taking off. So we're just gonna make the tail longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just stretch this out by one more 2x4 section. Move our thingies so it looks normal again, like that. Actually, we probably want this junction to be back here. So, hey. So just move that up like that. Reposition that. Right, let's try that. Lean it back, hit the thrusters. See, we still got a bit of thrust on the... too much thrust above our center of mass, which is fine once we're in the air, but it's giving us problems on the ground. So what we'll do is we're going to eliminate those. And what we're going to go with feet. I'd like to go with something like some 1x3 sloped. Upside down. Like this. But maybe also what we need there is we need to, yeah, I think we're going to need to set these hinges all the way to 90. That. Build that in. Yep, see, that'll give us fairly flat there, and if we lean back, hopefully. Nope. Alright. Alrighty then. Want to be like that, do you? So, I'm going to say that the next fix is going to be we'll remove these off the back here, and I'm going to move all the thrust back to here. And then we can put those big curvy pieces back in if we want. If you want. If you don't want, you don't have to. You can use whatever pieces you like. Might even be able to move these out. And then drop a couple in there. Well, squares right there and right there. Just like that. Let's try that. Now all the weight's in the back. What do you think of me now? How you like me now? Nope, still wants to face plant. And we can't take off. Still flies just wonderfully. Just one, it's all I'm holding a spacebar. It's a very agile dragon, you know what I mean? So that's the basics of building a big winged dragon. And again, you can amplify this or take this. You can make the wings, I've tried to make the wings even longer, make them thicker, almost like bat wings or pterodactyl wings. See if our landing gear works here. Ooh, well, it worked, but busted a wing off. So it looks like, yeah, see, it's still heavy in the front. Still heavy in the front. It's getting way too heavy. So, how are we going to fix that, you say? Well, we're going to move these body pieces over. We're going to copy this thruster back. Again, make sure that that gap in there is filled. Then we're going to remove these two thrusters from the top. So now we got to find these curved pieces. Bring these down. 1, 2, 3. And we are slowly starting to get to the limit of our complexity. It's so complex. This, a couple of these down here. One like that. Let's try that. Hey? Wings up. Head up. Thrust up. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. You can do it. You can do it. So maybe more thrust underneath. Under his belly. If the head's up like this, let's see how we're going to finish off the head. Could just keep it solid like that. Without any, like an opening mouth or anything like that. I mean, you can always add that in the servo on either side, but then that's adding more weight to the front. So I'll leave that up to you to decide how you want to finish that off. So I'm just going to put a nice slopey piece on the front here. The angle piece. And then maybe a couple of these. That's alright. Can we give him some horns? No, not as small as the other ones. Bull horns on either side of the dragon like that, hey? Dragon Bull Z. Okay, so we got something like that. Now, again, there's small things that we can do to finish off the details as far as blocking off any flat edges with some slope pieces, or nice small slope pieces. Get rid of our areas that are non-aerodynamic. Just for giggles, I'm going to try skis for the feet. See if that will help with the takeoff issue. So like that, lean back. See, he's already sliding. He's already sliding. He wants to go. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Well, that worked better, eh? That was a wee bit better. Definitely better. But the only problem, like I said now, is that when we come in for a landing, he's not going to stop. It's just going to keep on drifting right into the hole. See? It's got no brakes. Whoa. Well, that's one way to slow yourself down. Slam your face into the ground. Pow! There we go. Face brake. Arc. Now he's doing yoga. Okay. And up. Okay. We got to fix those feet a wee bit. Just a little bit. This, I think, needs to rotate 80 rather than 70. And that's going to give us a little bit more of the on the... Whoa, whoa, no, no, no. Yeah, up like this. See? This is what we want. That's what we want. Then he can fold up his feet. No problem. We got some horns. We got steering. Right, so now it's a dragon in the air. Ooh, that was ugly. Seeing how we have no controls on our pistons because they're being operated by the export gates, we're going to select these two to lift when we push D. These two are going to lift when we push A. Okay, like that. See, so now we can do this. And those will lift, both of those will lift. Now we've got a wee bit of extra lift on either side when we're turning. See those pistons coming up there? Or we can hold A and D and get the full bent wing flying effect. Still use our WAS or W and S to maneuver up and down. Alright, let's go see if we can put a couple of cannons on this thing, because it's got to be dangerous. If it's not dangerous, then who cares if there's a dragon flying around? It might as well be a sparrow, right? It's got to be dangerous. Faceplant. Oh. Nailed it! Okay, so we could put cannons on his head, or we could put cannons under his wings. See, because we've got some connection points under here. So let's try putting a wee cannon under here. Left shift. It's going to be for those. So we can take off like this. Turn right around. Oh, now we don't have enough strength to get in the air. That's easy to fix. That's an easy fix. We're gonna come down here like this. Take out this one. This one. This one. And just copy another one of these out. Bang. Right in there. Fits. Oh, like a glove. So, just like that. It'll give us more lift from the bottom. No problem taking off now. Right, so if we fly around like that, boy, she does like to turn sharp, don't she? There you go, Dragon Wars. We got some cannons on there. Do we want to put a couple cannons on either side of the head as well? Sure we do. Of course we do. Don't be ridiculous. So maybe just sideways like this. Right down there. Right like that. Make it look like it's coming out of his mouth. So these here are going to be left shift. These here are going to have a 0.5 second delay. Make sure we can take off, no problem. Landing gear's working. Fly around this way. Okay, so maybe we don't want a half-second delay on these. We want them to fire at the same time. Same time, no delay. No delay. Undelay, no delay. Just like that. We've got a nice spread there. So now if you want to bomb a target, kill a dragon, let's color it up. Make it look pretty. Try that. It's the green dragon. Alright, so that looks like everything we need there. Let's try setting up a target somewhere. See if we can't kill. See how well our dragon actually works. How about this tank? We'll put this tank here. I'll get in here first, but of course we got to close it up, right? So I'm going to hit number 1. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It's a little thing for you. It's a big thing for me. Alright, let's see if we can blow this tank up. Dragon tank attack. We're going to get into the air here. Going to fly out to sea. Then we're going to spin around. We're going to take that sucker down. Dragons versus aircraft carriers. Right? I'd buy that for $1. I'd watch that movie. Here we go. We come in. Oh! Brutal. Brutal. Totally. Tank's got no chance. Oh, that totally missed. Okay, I think we need to come in more like a bombing run. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Ooh, that was almost ugly. Almost wound up right in the aircraft carrier. Nice. So you can see that works pretty well. Don't have to be super accurate. And you can still destroy your target. So that is the green big-winged dragon. I hope that helped you guys to build your own. Hope it explained a few things for you. And yeah, hope you try and build one yourself. In for the landing. Face plant. Drag the tail. Drag the tail. Drag the tail. Face plant. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's all I got for you in this one. Or leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this build. If there's something else you'd like to see me try and build, let me know. And we will see you in the next one. Ciao.